Firefighters train to rescue complete strangers from extreme situations, but are they training enough and prepared enough to rescue each other from those same extreme situations? Hi, my name is Kevin Frere. I'm a London Fire Science student, and I'd like to talk about Mayday and how it relates to the fire services. Next slide, please. Today we'll be talking about the Mayday definition and how it relates to the fire services, current Mayday and survival training, psychological factors that can hinder proper responses to Mayday calls, and potential solutions to help firefighters better react and be prepared when there is a Mayday call in the fire grounds. Next slide, please. The definition of Mayday as it relates to fire. So Mayday, the term Mayday was adopted from the aviation industry into the fire services because of its ability to quickly and efficiently convey that there is an immediate problem. So it's said 3 times in a row over the radio, and everyone who hears it understands that whoever said that is in immediate danger, and then they can act to help that person who is in need. Next slide, please. Current training with as regards to Maydays is there's not a lot that happens. There are certain things like the bailout technique that you can see a picture of here, which is just a way for firefighters to quickly get out of a structure through a window that's second, third plus story up. There are certain techniques that are used, such as the bailout, but there are fewer fires that are happening, which doesn't allow firefighters to have as much real life experience as they once did, which is obviously a double-edged sword. According to O'Neill, in 1983, fires numbered in North America 2,326,500 with 114 firefighter fatalities. So that was 1 firefighter fatality for every 20,407 fires. And in 2014, the numbers were 1,240,000 fires with 98 fatalities. That's 1 for every 12,500 fires. So it goes to show that there are fewer, but the fatalities there's almost twice as many fatalities because of the inexperience that comes along with not being able to see them as often. And so that also points to those fatalities we may be able to avoid some of those fatalities with proper bailout training, for example, and other Mayday techniques that can help firefighters go home safe at the end of the day. Next slide, please. Some psychological factors. The fire services is a very traditional type of industry. I'll quote Abbott when he says, "There is a tendency to believe that since a certain practice has thus far not killed us, then that is an acceptable practice." So that just goes to show that, just because this hasn't hurt us in the past, it doesn't mean that it won't in the future, because the industry is changing, houses are changing, the way that people respond is changing, even the content of homes, it's all changing. So our tactics need to change as well, but it happens very slowly throughout the fire services, so that needs to have some change within it as well. There needs to be fresh look on certain things. Staffs that are overworked and understaffed. There are a lot of municipalities that are undercut with staff and budgets. And then there's also sleep deprivation. As you can see with this slide, the time of day where in the middle of the night, that's when most Maydays happen, 27% from 1 to 3 in the morning and 24% from 3 to 6. So that's more than 50% of all Mayday calls happen throughout the night when they're most tired and trying to, fight through that sleep deprivation. Next slide, please. I'd like to talk about some solutions. Better understanding of building construction. As you can see, legacy is 1930s to 60s, and this is how, it shows you how much time you had before potential floor collapse from due to fire, and you can see the difference in the modern timeline. Firefighters are getting on scene, and those fires have been going for a few minutes. They do not have a lot of time, and that's when they go in and the structure collapses, the floor collapses, and then that's when they're in trouble and they have to call a Mayday. So being able to realize that before you even get yourself into that situation is extremely important. Understanding how much time you have um, could make the world of a difference. If you know that structure's been burning for 10 or 15 minutes and it's a newer build, you may not want to do an interior fire attack because just your weight going in there could make that collapse, and that could mean firefighters being trapped. Also, the overall level of fitness and how people train, how firefighters train, there needs to be more just body weight exercises, eating healthy, because air consumption is an issue. When you are trapped, if you do get trapped, you need to be able to conserve air. And if your cardiovascular health is not where it needs to be, you will consume more air more rapidly. So it's important to be able to have a higher level of fitness to be able to combat that when you do need to conserve your air. Next slide, please. And just being able to recognize when you are in trouble. It's extremely important. Don't wait till the last second. Call that Mayday and be safe. I hope this has brought some attention to Maydays in the fire services. Thank you.